This is VOA News. I'm David Byrd. A California couple who shackled 12 of their 13 children for years has been sentenced to life in prison. As AP's Tim McGuire reports, David and Louise Turpin will not be eligible for parole for 25 years.
David and Louise Turpin pleaded guilty in February to neglect and abuse after years of denying 12 of their 13 children food, beating them, shackling some to their beds in their suburban Los Angeles home. This daughter tells the court,
"My parents took my whole life from me, but now I'm taking my life back."
Another spoke of his continued nightmares, their mother sobbing as she tells the judge,
"I'm sorry for everything I've done to hurt my children. I love my children so much."
The judge sentencing both parents to life in prison with the chance for parole in 25 years. I'm Tim McGuire.
The U.S. Justice Department is dismissing House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler's subpoena demanding an unredacted copy of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report on Russian interference in the 2016 election. As AP's Sagar Meghani reports, Nadler wants Congress to get the report before Attorney General Bill Barr testifies next month.
Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler has issued a subpoena for all of Special Counsel Bob Mueller's report after the redacted version gave fresh evidence of presidential misconduct.
He practically invites Congress to pursue that.
Nadler telling CBS This Morning lawmakers need the unredacted report and all underlying materials to decide what's next. He says he expects the Justice Department to comply by May 1st, when Attorney General William Barr begins 2 days of hearings. The president is bashing what he calls the crazy Mueller report and his ex-advisors who cooperated with the probe. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
This is VOA News. Christians worldwide observed Good Friday to mark the crucifixion of Jesus. Robert Berger was on hand in Jerusalem as worshipers carried out an ancient Holy Land tradition.
Jerusalem was awash with thousands of pilgrims marching through the narrow cobblestone alleyways of the Via Dolorosa, or Way of Sorrows, in Jerusalem's Old City. Some carried big wooden crosses on their shoulders. They sang hymns and read scriptures during the traditional Good Friday procession, retracing the path of Jesus to the 14 stations of the cross. Israeli police and soldiers armed with assault rifles guarded the route, but the atmosphere was calm. Robert Berger for VOA News, Jerusalem.
Meanwhile, Parisians gave thanks Friday that Notre Dame Cathedral still stands. AP correspondent Mike Gracia reports.
On a Good Friday, unlike any other in Paris, there were prayers and thanks that the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral still stands. A fire 4 days earlier burned through the cathedral's vaulted stone ceiling, but miraculously, the structure was saved. French authorities say, although it was fierce, the fire Monday evening was concentrated on the cathedral's roof, and the priceless works inside Notre Dame suffered no major damage. The structure was declared stabilized Friday. The reconstruction of Notre Dame is expected to take several years. I'm Mike Gracia.
The World Health Organization says a doctor fighting an Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo was killed in an attack on an eastern hospital. Richard Muzoko, an epidemiologist from Cameroon, died when several gunmen from a local militia attacked the hospital in the city of Butembo, one of the epicenters of the Ebola outbreak. A Congolese health ministry staffer and a driver were injured in the attack. The WHO's Director General wrote on Twitter, "We are outraged by the attack. Health workers are not a target. The violence is the latest in a series of attacks on Ebola treatment centers by militiamen and those distrustful of the international response to the outbreak." Family and friends of Peru's former president Alan Garcia attended his cremation on Friday, 2 days after he shot and killed himself after authorities arrived at his home to arrest him for alleged involvement in a corruption scandal. Garcia's coffin arrived at a crematorium in the capital, Lima, after being carried and driven through streets crowded with tens of thousands of people who had turned up to bid their last farewell to their former president. For more on these stories, be sure to visit our website, voanews.com. You can also follow us on the VOA mobile app. I'm David Byrd, VOA News.